What's up, everybody? It's Ace, aka Real Estate Bread. I'm back. It's my third video. I'm gonna keep them coming. Give out as much free game as I possibly can. One of my goals in life is to make 1,000,000 millionaires. So as long as y'all keep tuning in, I'm gonna keep giving y'all free game so that y'all can apply it to y'all life and hopefully reach y'all goals and we all can be rich. Or, excuse me, not rich. We want to be wealthy. But anyway, so this video topic is, what is wholesale real estate? Last video, a lot of people tuned in and they saw how I made an $11,000 check on my girl's birthday. A lot of questions that were coming up were the same questions, so I'm pretty much answer those basic questions that a lot of people were having, just so that y'all can get a understanding of what wholesale real estate is. And before I dive into it, the reason why I want to do this video is because wholesale real estate is, one, a great way for you to get into real estate without having to use a ton of money and without having a ton of experience. Two, it gives you the experience that you need, and it allows you to build capital in a quick turnaround time. Also, this is just a great life skill that you should have in your financial toolbox. This should be something that is taught at an early age. They should teach this in school, as long with how to get good credit, how to retain good credit, how to use your credit, how to pay bills, how to pay taxes, how to avoid paying taxes. Like, all this type of stuff is stuff that you don't have to want to learn it just to build a business. You need to learn it. You need it to be an independent person in this society. You need those type of skills to be an independent person in this society. With that being said, wholesale real estate is when you are dealing with people who are in distressed situations, and what you're doing is you're putting together an agreement contract with a seller who's going through a distressed situation for a distressed price, for a deeply discounted price. You'll insert your fee, and then you'll in turn sell it to an end buyer, a cash buyer. These type of deals, you are only going to want to deal with cash buyers, because these type of deals, you're generally looking to try to close them within 2 to 3 weeks. So I'll give you an example of a wholesale deal. Miss Susie over here, her husband passed away. And so now she has a house that maybe her husband was the breadwinner, or maybe he was the person who, made sure everything in the house got taken care of. He wasn't, really using contractors or anything. He was handyman. So now she's in a distressed situation because everything is on her now. And let's just say, in the latter part of his life, he wasn't really able to do the things that he was used to doing in his earlier ages, as far as maybe fixing holes in the walls, or maybe he could fix a roof, or whatever the case may be. So now the house is in a distressed situation. Maybe she doesn't have the money to fix it up. She doesn't want to deal with contractors. So now she's in a distressed situation. So I would come to her and say, hey, I see you have a property at 123 Main Street. Wanted to see if you had any interest in selling that property. And then I would build rapport with her so that she feels, so that she can trust me, and she feels okay giving me information, and she's willing to go through this process with me. So let's say her house, the ARV, which is the after repair value, let's say the ARV of her house is $100,000, right? That's once the house is all fixed up, like brand new kitchen, new flooring, new bathroom, all the trimming. So the ARV of the property is $100K. Let's say her and her husband, they paid the house off. They had the house for a while, so they paid the house off. So she doesn't owe any money in the house, but the house needs work. And like I said, she doesn't want to do the work to the property. So now, because she's in a distressed situation, I targeted how I could come in and help her in her situation. So like I said, the ARV of the house is $100,000. Her house is clear and free, meaning she doesn't owe any money on it. She has no mortgage payments or anything on the property. And the property needs work. So I would come to her after I build a rapport. Rapport is just pretty much you building a relationship with the seller so that the seller can gain your trust. I would come to her and I would try to get the house under contract for a deeply discounted price. So it's a few different ways that you could do it. If you know your market, you'll be able to dive in and make an offer quicker because you know what you'll be able to sell it to the cash buyer for. But if you don't know, an easy way to make an offer on the house at a wholesale price is to say, okay, the ARV is $100,000. We're going to take 65% of that, and that's where an investor would purchase the property at. So 65% of $100,000 is $65,000. So let's just say you're in the market and you know, on an average deal, you want to make at least 10 grand on it. So from that 65,000, you know for a fact that you're going to offer 55 because your spread is from the 55 to the 65,000. Now, once you get the house under contract or a purchase agreement with the seller, you'll then turn around and you'll market the property to cash buyers. And when you're marketing the property, you're technically not selling the house because you don't own the house yet. It's still under contract. So what you're doing is you're selling the contract to a cash buyer. So the cash buyer will come in and they'll pay the $65,000 for the property, and you'll make your 10 grand and she'll make her 55 grand on the house. And so everybody walks away, you know, feeling pleased. She didn't get jerked on the deal. She made enough money on the deal to where as though she could walk away, do whatever she wants to do on it. You made your portion, and your buyer got a good property at a good price to where as though they can now put the work into it and uphold that value within that neighborhood. Like I said, wholesale real estate is an easy way to really dig deep and find yourself in real estate, because within wholesale real estate, you'll be uncovering and seeing so many different problems within the real estate business that you'll be able to determine, okay, I'm this type of person, this is going to be my niche in real estate. And you'll only be able to find your niche by finding different problems to solve. A wise man once told me that you'll make as much money as big as the problems are that you solve. So however big the problem is that you solve, that's how much money you're going to make. For example, communication around the world was a problem. People made social media, and you see how they cleaned up. And that's pretty much what you want to do in any type of business that you're going on, whether it be real estate or whatever the case may be. You want to find your niche. You want to find out different problems that you can solve to make your customer happy. With that being said, that's wholesale real estate. That's a prime example of how a real estate transaction will go. If you have any more questions, make sure you comment below. Make sure you like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll be back with another video. I appreciate the love and keep supporting me, man.